I think college journalism is important because, especially on a campus like Chapman, there's not going to be a lot of news coverage from like the LA Times or even the Orange County Register. You're not going to get a ton of coverage on the things that happen at Chapman. If there's like big news events, they'll come down, but the day-to-day life, the sports teams, the people at Dodge, people in the STEM majors, like nobody's going to report on their stories, so their peers, are able to kind of give an account of daily life here, look at this interesting person, or even uncover, some nefarious happenings potentially that just other outlets wouldn't even consider doing. And so I think it's positive in that light, but it's also positive for the students because we have an opportunity to be in editor positions, to be writing often. A lot of people, they'll join their college newspaper and then never write for a news source again, but it's still like a very valuable experience. And then if you want to have a career in this, it's a good way to get into it, get into the working aspects. But I think if I could boil down why college journalism is important into one sentence, it would be that it shines a light where a light might not be shined otherwise.
Obviously I exist on a kind of, I don't want to say fluffier, but lighter plane with features and entertainment. Like most of our conversations every week are what was the #1 movie of the week, but I think ultimately the wider field is, keeping the same thing it does in the wider world is really keeping people informed and speaking truth to power to institutions. And I think that's an important thing to do, even on a collegiate level. And ultimately, still the best part of what I do is just helping to tell a story that I think other people are going to be interested in. And I think that's what we're all doing here.
I think college journalism is important because all the time I hear from students that they heard about really important news from us and that they didn't hear about it from local news sources or Chapman News or other places that might not be covering the not so nice stuff. So I think it's really important that we break those stories that mean a lot to students' lives and their education.
I think college journalism is important because I think truth and accurate reporting is very important. It's a very important thing to raise a new generation of good reporters in an age of a lot of misinformation these days. That's one thing that's very important. I also think that storytelling is something that's very important, letting kind of students know what's going on in the community. And as the sports editor, I think that sports journalism is very important because in an age where there's a lot of like sports journalism is just hot takes and arguments and all that type of stuff. It gives you kind of like a deep dive of what's going on. I think also Chapman athletes put in so much hard work that a lot of people don't necessarily get to see. And I think that it's very important to highlight those athletes who are doing a lot of hard work.
I think a big part of journalism is like where you get your information and your source. And in college, that's especially important that the information you're getting is coming from people like your students reporting, and also like it's information from the administration of the school or even your professors. And so it's really just the people who know the most about the school reporting on it. In general, I think journalism matters because it kind of feeds like intrinsic curiosity. Whether we're journalists going out there asking the questions or finding answers to questions people pose to us. And I think that's also important in the sense of accountability, which we see a lot on college campuses, is like, why should we trust who our money goes towards and who is instructing us and teaching us everything.
College journalism matters to me because I want to make sure that my community is well informed about things that are happening around them that could impact them, while also giving a voice to people that might not otherwise get to be heard.
Well, I think it's important to everybody, and the main reason is that there are a lot of news deserts in this country. They're getting bigger, and those are places where a lot of smaller and even larger papers are just disappearing, and the papers that are left behind that have to cover the news are college papers in a lot of situations. So they've actually never been more important than they are now.